Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night Fights presented by Casino Wars. Tonight's feature matchup will be Gravity Trap versus the No Miss No Boss. 12 spins, one winner. Let's get ready to spin.
20. Okay. All right, so go ahead and spin. That's a 4 black. That's a loss. Okay. We're going to go with the first column, and we're going to go ahead and spin. All right, that's a 13 black. That is a loss.
Round 1 goes to Gravity Trap. It leads by 8.8. Gravity Trap is down by 10 and No Boss is down by 20.
Put the $10 back on. We're just going to add 2 units to each. Splits on at $2 each. And we're going to go ahead and spin. And this one's called the Gravity Trap. All right, that's a 29 black. All right, that's a $14 win. Loss. Okay, so what we do now, increase that to 40 on each. And spin. That's a 15 black. We got a win. All right, so that's a $40 win.
Never Miss No Boss takes the lead. Gravity Trap trails by 0.32. They have a $4 profit for Gravity Trap, $20 profit for No Boss.
So when we get a win, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to base. All right, and spin. Okay, we're up $4 now. Okay, that's an 8 black. All right, that's another loss. So we're up 20 now. So we're going to go back to base. So we're going to play on the 2 that didn't come in last, okay? And we're going to go ahead and spin. It's a 19, red. Okay, that's a loss.
I'd have to give the round to Gravity Trap. They really did good that round, and they tightened up the lead.
So what we're going to do is we're going to rebet, and we're going to add the $2 to each of these. All right, that's a 20 black. All right, that's another $14 win. So now we're going to go to 40 and spin. It's 24 black. It's another loss.
Hey, we got a new leader. Gravity Trap really looked good that time. The Gravity Trap took the lead. So let's see what happens in the next round.
So now we're going to go to 200 on each. And spin. It's a 4. That's a win. So we're up 120. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to rebet. We're going to go back to base. Just the $10 and spin. All right. That's a 31 black. All right. That's a loss.
No Boss again takes the lead by he's got a diamond 10, and let's see what happens in the next round.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back to base, and we're going to play everything but the 4. Whoops, clear. Back to base. And spin. That's a 0. That's not good for anyone. So what we're going to do is we're going to rebet, and we're going to go with the $2 on each again. And we're going to go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 36 red. That's a good one. All right, that's an $8 win.
I would definitely have to give that round to Gravity Trap. Gravity Trap really threw some good punches there. Let's see what happens in the next round.
All right, so now we're gonna rebat, and we're going to go back to base and spin. Okay, that's a 31 black. All right, that's a loss. Just go to 40 and spin. That's a 29 black. That is a win.
This matchup is an awesome matchup. We don't know what's gonna happen here. Who's gonna win? This match is way too close to tell.
All right, great. So now we'll go back to base, but we're not going to play on the 29, 10 and 10, and spin. That's a 0. That's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to rebat, and we're going to go back to 6 splits. And we're going to spin. All right, that's an 18 red. All right, that's an $8 win.
This is really a great matchup here. This is a very close call. We'll see how this ends up, and let's check out what happens on the next round.
So we're going to rebat, and we're going to go back to base and spin. That's a 17 black. That's a loss. So we're going to rebat, and we're going to increase this to 40 and increase this one to 40 and spin. It's a 21 red. Okay, that's a win. That's a 40 unit win.
That round definitely has to go to Never Miss No Boss. That was an awesome round, but still, they're still keeping it tight.
All right, so we're just going to go back to base on the 2 that 10 that didn't hit, and let's go ahead and spin. That's a 7 red. All right, that's a win. So what we're going to do is we're going to rebat, and we're going to go back to the splits and spin. It's a 34 red. All right, that's another loss.
Looks like Gravity Trap lost its footing there, but they're slipped a little bit, but I think they'll still pull through. Let's see what happens.
So we're going to rebat, and we're going to take that one off, actually. And we're going to play the 10 there instead. And we're going to go ahead and spin. That's a 2 black. That's a loss. So next, what we're going to do is now we're going to put 30 units on the second, the column, and spin. That's a 14 red. All right, that's a loss.
No Boss is leading right now, but Gravity Trap is not far behind. This match can go any way. Let's see what happens going into the final round.
So now we're going to go to 40. And spin. That's a 6 black. That's a loss. Now we're going to go from 30 to 50. And we're going to use, and we're going to go, and we're going to put $4. All right, and we're going to $74 unit bet now, and we're going to go ahead and spin. So 24 black. All right, that's a $76 win.
So the Never Miss No Boss advances to the next round. Catch you guys on the next battle.